Looking for inspirational quotes? Nothing's better than the treasure book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki and Sharon Lechter, which comes up with the best quotes to inspire you for a lifetime. Staring at your empty wallet and feeling low. How long are you gonna blame yourself for spending more? It's a loop, darling. No one is and probably no one can ever be satisfied with his salary. Expensive are things, so is your dream, so is your lifestyle. What will you sacrifice? Choose a smarter way rather. Just like your high ambitions and dreams, be strong in your decisions. Know the secrets of money making and be a leader of your own. When it comes to money, there's no marginal limit. The more you give, the more willing I am to accept it. But the saddest part is that most of us are blindfolded with illusions. Our system has taught us to be the prey and not the predator. Besides being inspirational, these quotes are some sort of life-hacking magic. Read and discover them. Following is the list of quotes from the famous book Rich Dad Poor Dad. The single most powerful asset we all have is our mind. If it is trained well, it can create enormous wealth. It is widely acclaimed that this human brain is the most powerful asset. It can yield wonders if trained with proper knowledge and insights. In return, it can bring us a lot of wealth and abundance. The richest people in the world build networks. Everyone else is trained to look for work. Rich Dad Poor Dad quotes are hugely influential with their striking truth. Most people look for jobs and work in that pre-settled network, but the richest people create and build them and work there instead of fitting into some already settled networks. There is a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary, poor is eternal. The scarcity of money can be managed with hard work, but being poor is eternal. The contributing factor behind poverty is always not money, but the habits and lifestyle. Rich Dad Poor Dad quotes give different meanings of being poor and broke. I can't afford it shuts down your brain. How can I afford it? Open up possibilities, excitement, and dreams. Words like can't don't block our capabilities and remove all sorts of possibilities or chances, but questioning ourselves instead can unlock new ideas and ways that can help us to meet our dreams. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. Rich Dad Poor Dad quotes points out the major difference between the rich and the poor, and surprisingly their thinking capability. Rich people don't waste money after liabilities or expenses. Instead, they focus on investments that bring them more money over time. The primary difference between a rich person and poor person is how they manage fear. Rich people are brave enough to face any sort of fear and fight with it, unlike a poor person who decides to be content with his small life in fear. Thanks to Rich Dad Poor Dad quotes for giving us so much courage. Sight is what you see with your eyes. Vision is what you see with your mind. Sight and insight are so parallelly connected and yet a bit different. Seeing something is external, but vision is internal. True vision is a reflection of what we see outside in our minds. So many people say, "Oh, I'm not interested in money," yet they'll work at a job for 8 hours a day. Well, some of the Rich Dad Poor Dad quotes are so sarcastic that we can laugh for the whole day and yet remember the serious message that it conveys. Why do people work for 8 hours a day, tirelessly, even after saying that they are not interested in money? In today's rapidly changing world, the people who are not taking risk are the risk takers. The world is full of competition and there's risk everywhere. It's foolish to stay closed up in a small limited sphere in fear of failure. Not adapting to changes or hurdles can diminish one's existence in the long journey. The philosophy of the rich and the poor is this: the rich invest their money and spend what is left. The poor spend their money and invest what is left. That's how it is, the sad reality that everyone ignores. The rich think with their brains and live logically, whereas the poor are emotional fools who don't think of the future and end up corrupted. Financial struggle is often the result of people working all their lives for someone else. You don't earn enough if you are working for someone else with a limited sphere of responsibility. Unfortunately, money is limited too. Rich Dad Poor Dad quotes are so amazing and inspirational. Like, really, why don't you work for yourself? Create something of your own. Often in the real world, it's not the smart who get ahead, but the bold. Bold and brave beats the rest. Only boldness outstands all sorts of problems, and this is how bold people make their way through thick and thin. Smartness can get you up to a place, but after that, you gotta be bold enough to continue the game. Skills make you rich, not theories. Sorry, but have you ever seen any nerd achieve something out of the blue? Skills are raw gems generated directly from practical experiences and theories that stand now compared to skills. If you speak of being rich, by all means, all credit goes to skills and not theories. The more I risk being rejected, the better my chances are of being accepted. Failures are the stepping stones of success. Closed doors open new avenues, so you should never fear rejection. There are no bad business and investment opportunities, but there are bad entrepreneurs and investors. We are too scared to take risks. Hence, we blame the missed opportunities as bad opportunities that we are incapable of recognizing. But no opportunities are bad. It's the people, the entrepreneurs and investors for whom opportunities fail to work. Success is a poor teacher. We learn the most about ourselves when we fail. So don't be afraid of failing. Failing is part of the process of success. You cannot have success without failure. Clear as morning and inspirational as any other quotes. Rich Dad Poor Dad quotes are best at keeping us thriving. Life is nothing without failures. There can be no success if you don't learn or grow from your failures. It's how you progress. To be a successful business owner and investor, you have to be emotionally neutral to winning and losing. Winning and losing are just part of the game. Duality is the truth of nature. A high wave is followed by a low wave, and inhalation is followed by exhalation. Similarly, ups and downs are part and parcel of business, and one needs to be emotionally equanimous to handle both states. A stable mind will find opportunity in all circumstances. Always start at the end before you begin. Professional investors always have an exit strategy before they invest. Knowing your exit strategy is an important investment fundamental. Proper planning and execution are essential parts of planning. Professional people always have a backup plan in case things fail. Starting from the end provides long-term advantages. Don't be addicted to money. Work to learn. Don't work for money. Work for knowledge. We are not money-earning machines. Besides earning, one should not forget to feed the brain and mind with knowledge. You can never learn or grow if money is the only aim. That makes everything stagnant. You must fire bad customers just as you would fire a bad employee. If you do not get rid of your bad employees, the good employees will leave. If I do not fire bad customers, not only will my good customers leave, but many of my good employees will leave as well. The ability to weed out bad customers is a sign of a good businessman. One bad fish spoils the entire pond, so it is better to have fewer customers than to have bad customers. It's more important to grow your income than cut your expenses. It's more important to grow your spirit than cut your dreams. Cutting expenses or reducing expenditure can never be a permanent solution. There's no meaning in wiping all our dreams and wishes just because of low or insufficient income. Have high spirits, high dreams to make it large numbers in income, so you don't sacrifice your lifestyle. I am concerned that too many people are focused too much on money and not on their greatest wealth, which is their education. Money is not the means but the outcome of education, skills, and attitudes. So one must invest in self-growth, which will lead to financial growth. The size of your success is measured by the strength of your desire, the size of your dream, and how you handle disappointment along the way. Success is not always about money and fame. Sometimes it's about the desire, willpower, and the risks that you are ready to face that determine the size of your success. Unfortunately for many people, school is the end, not the beginning. Education is what stays after you have left your school, because real education happens in the real world. School education only forms the base on which the real world forms the building. So school education is just the beginning, whereas education is lifelong. Most people fail to realize that in life, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. So sarcastic, Truly, how does it even matter if you earn money in lakhs and still can't save a single penny? It's not how much you earn, but how much you can keep it to yourself. The real credit lies here. Wealth is a person's ability to survive so many numbers of days forward. Or, if I stopped working today, how long could I survive? Just like oxygen, wealth is also essential for human survival. We can't survive if we don't have enough wealth to continue till tomorrow. It is not saving alone, but proper financial investments which assure a lifelong return. Proper physical exercise increases your chances of health, and proper mental exercise increases your chances for wealth. Laziness decreases both health and wealth. Procrastination is the father of all sin. One who wastes time, time wastes him. Through proper exercises, a person stretches the capabilities of his mind and body. Money without financial intelligence is money soon gone. Just as the rats do riches, similarly we just hear stories of riches do rats. Earning money is easier than returning the money. To return the money, one needs to have a financial education. Degrees won't save money. The only purpose that degrees serve is to provide you with your first interview call. But to crack the interview you need merit, knowledge, and skills. Marks and degrees serve no purpose. It is ultimately your practical learnings that save the day. Money is only an idea. If you want more money, simply change your thinking. Every self-made person started small with an idea, then turned it into something big. It takes only a few dollars to start and grow into something big. There are two responses that you can get from your father when you show him an expensive car. One is to be content with what you have, and the other one is think how you can own that car. So money is a thought process, not a physical entity. A person can be highly educated, professionally successful, and financially illiterate. Our education system trains us to be good employees. It doesn't train us to earn a fortune. Wealth management is not equivalent to degrees earned. If you want to go somewhere, it is best to find someone who has already been there. We take advice from sages. Sages advise the poor because they have walked the path. So try to gather knowledge from experienced people. Money comes and goes, but if you have the education about how money works, you gain power over it and can begin building wealth. The pandemic has shown us that the poor get poorer and the rich get richer even in adverse situations. So what differentiates them? It's the ability to convert weakness into areas of opportunity. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. The poor work to earn a salary. The rich people make their money work for them and bring profits. Rich hire people who work for them, whereas the poor gets hired to work for the rich. A winning strategy must include losing. There can be no winning without loss. Similarly, a winning strategy must include losing, because if it fails, there should be a way out to manage that loss too. Cash flow tells the story of how a person handles money. It is not the inflow but the outflow of money that defines wealth accommodation. Cash flow is more about habits than transactions, and better habits yield better returns. It's easier to stand on the sidelines, criticize, and say why you shouldn't do something. The sidelines are crowded. Get in the game. The masses are boring. Even a black sheep stands out. One must not fear to take risks. It is better to lose than to have never tried. Once a person stops searching for information and self-knowledge, ignorance sets in. A curious mind keeps growing. It nurtures itself with information and knowledge. Once a person stops searching, the darkness of ignorance sets in. If you work for money, you give them the power to your employer. If money works for you, you keep the power and control it. Doing a job under an employer limits your power. Choose to do something where money works for you, for your enterprise, or anything, and everything will be under your control. In school, we learn that mistakes are bad, and we are punished for making them. Yet, if you look at the way humans are designed to learn, we learn by making mistakes. We learn to walk by falling. If we never fell, we would never walk. Mistakes are necessary. You can never know what's right if you don't make mistakes. That's how we all learn and move forward in the right direction of our life. We all have tremendous potential, and we all are blessed with gifts. Yet the one thing that holds all of us back is some degree of self-doubt. There's nothing worse than doubting ourselves, doubting our worth, and value. We should set ourselves free from all sorts of negativity that holds us back from success. I am concerned that too many people are focused too much on money and not on their greatest wealth, which is their education. Money comes and goes, but education is that wealth that can't be diminished ever. With education, a person invests and turns himself into a better person. He achieves wisdom, stability, and a lot of good qualities to provide a better life. If you're still doing what mommy and daddy said for you to do, go to school, get a job, and save money, you're losing. Parents can guide you till an age, but after that, you have to decide for yourself. Use your brain, your intuition, and experiences to go forward. There's no meaning in following the conventional crowd. An important distinction is that rich people buy luxuries last, while the poor and middle class tend to buy luxuries first. We all carry weird factorizations about rich people. They wear branded clothes, wear expensive jewelry, but mostly ignore the truth. The rich avoid wasting money on unnecessary things, and whatever good or selection they buy is at last. People who avoid failure also avoid success. Failure and success are the two sides of the same coin. If you avoid failures, you avoid success too. There can be no success if you haven't failed before. Education is more valuable than money. In the long run, money is temporary, while education remains forever. Money can be stolen, but education cannot be ever. In the long run, it's always education that serves us more than money. The love of money is the root of all evil. The lack of money is the root of all evil. Rich dad, poor dad quotes strike us with their bold contrasting reality. Fancy moralities fade away in front of our grim reality. Lack of money attracts all sorts of problems. Love for money has never been the source of problems. Lack of money has been. If you realize that you're the problem, then you can change yourself. Learn something and grow wiser. Don't blame other people for your problems. Blaming games is the worst game. It never lets you change anything. Rather be responsible for yourself. Hold your life in your hands and change it accordingly. You can only learn and grow when you change yourself. Workers work hard enough to not be fired, and owners pay just enough so that workers won't quit. There's a fine line between these two policies. One runs the show, and the other one is just the puppet. Working hard enough for surviving the job is immensely painful, whereas paying enough to the workers is just a clever trick, something like a bait to keep hooking up. Learn to use your emotions to think, not think with your emotions. Learning begins when we put our emotions into action. Think with them. Emotions are vulnerable. Hooking, there can be no success if we think with our emotions. If fear is too strong, the genius is suppressed. Never let your fear conquer you. Whatever you believe strongly becomes the next reality. Face all your fears and fight with them, or else the genius inside will get rusted inside. So that's the end. Hope it gave you clarity about the do's and don'ts regarding important decisions of life. Life isn't all about profit and loss, but to be casual about everything is pretty bad. Apply these quotes and see effective results. There's always a significant change coming in your way if you're brave enough to work hard. After all, who doesn't want to be successful? Who wants to stay lagging? Be the change. Bring the change.